Hello, lovelies. It's Emily. Thank you for stopping by and sharing some time with me today. I hope you and yours are doing well, and I hope you all enjoy the pieces in this video. Once again, I thank you all for helping me reach 500 subscribers. I thank all of you who have found me. I hope you all would continue to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell icon. Make sure you tell your friends and family about me if you enjoy my work, and let's get right into it. Within my waking dream, talk to me in hushed whispers. Guide me as I can't find my way. In reality, my body lays limp with exhaustion, while inside, my mind is ever going beyond my ability to control it. Shed light upon the darkness of my situation. Help me understand what is happening and why. How can I make changes in this scenario? How can I find my way back to the light? Speak to me in hushed whispers, those that only I can interpret. I don't fully understand yet what you mean, but I'm sure I will soon. Wait, don't leave me. I want to remain here where it's safe for a little bit longer. My dream is better than my reality. We are together, and all is right with the world. You are my holiday. My New Year's are always reborn in your eyes. Valentine's Day is where forever fall on your smile. On St. Patrick's Day, you are all the spirits that I need. I will always be your fool on April 1st, as we set out to find gifts from the Easter Bunny. I will pamper you as the mother of our children when Mother's Day arrives. Every kiss is how your love is memorialized. I hope the love is shared again when Father's Day comes around. Together, we are independent, thus we will let the fireworks sound. As the moon becomes ours within our days and nights, hopefully we can continue to enjoy the fruits of our labors as the days go by. Through the frights of Halloween, I will always be thankful for our lifetime dream. Lastly, as the flakes begin to fall and we sit warm and cozy by a Christmas fire, I will sit back and think fondly of how you have been my holiday, and from this I will never get tired. You are now leaving. So many times we sat here looking at the sign and dreaming of leaving everything behind. We didn't know each other that long, but it was as if fate brought us together. He was the only one who accepted me as I was. He wasn't afraid of me or of anything I was being told I may become. My heart found a home in him, then it all fell apart. The vision showing me what I might do to him just were too much to bear. I tried, he tried. Everyone around us tried, keeping us apart, but we just couldn't stay away from each other. He knew my secrets and still would lie with me under the starlit skies, holding my hand and telling me he knew everything would be okay. We walked through the park that day, talking about plans for prom and other future endeavors. He asked me to give him a gift of something he had never experienced before. In the middle of a summer day, snow began to fall from the heavens as he smiled at me. A smile that I come to know so well. A smile that I tried to rely on and get attached to. A smile that would, after that moment, not grace my direction ever again. Days began to pass and I continued to go on existing but not living. Always alone in my room thinking of him and all the plans we made while sitting by that sign. The sign that marked the road out of this crummy hellhole of a town. I could still feel him no matter how hard I tried not to. It was like a piece of me had died due to his absence. We would pass each other on the roads, and he would look at me for a split second as if he knew something, only to turn away a second later, going on his way. In time, I moved on, or at least came to terms with the way things had to be. I would rather lose him to a life without me in it, and not to a life cut short due to death over me. The day finally came when he would come to me for the last time. We exchanged friendly banter as he just so happened to stop in at the same place I was in at that moment. I was now who I was meant to be, but he would never know this. We would never be the couple driving out of this town together, passing that sign and smiling, knowing that we had each other against the world. Instead, I would have to be content knowing he would go and I would stay, I guess where I knew I belonged. There was that smile, one last smile that actually managed to grace my direction just before he made his way out the door. I smiled in that second, knowing that at least I got to see it one last time. Heading out of town, a couple of friends were passing the sign, just about to escape into lives not yet known to them when something happened, something impossible. A feeling, a sense came over him that what he was doing just wasn't right. The car in the next second swerving, coming to a halt on the side of the road. From his lips fell my name as light came to my eyes. I didn't know how, nor did I know why. Amphora, how? How is everything in your life right now? How can we make this better? How can we make things right? How is it wrong to think of yourself as well as thinking of others? How can we make things work? How can I make amends? How did things even get to the current state things are in? How do we, can we, may I talk to you? How will things ever change if we don't think things through? Anaphora, what? What do you mean? What did you say? What was I supposed to do with the information you gave? What will happen now? What will happen later on down the line? What are you planning to do now? What is currently on your mind? What will your next move be? What will mine have to be in response? What path will form before us now? What will our steps be, either together or apart? What do you make of this entire mess that has become who we are? What was the method to this madness we called following our hearts? Anaphora, when? When were you going to tell me? When were you even going to bring it up? When did this happen? When were you even at these places and times? When did it start? When did it end, if ever? When did you ever think that I'd be okay with this or accept this? When was there ever a time your actions and consequences ever came into your mind? When are you leaving? When will I never see your face ever again? When will you begin to grab the magnitude of what you've done? When will you let go of your selfish attitude? Anaphora, where? Where are you going? Where have you been? Where do you think you'll be by this time again? Where do roads lead? Where do they begin? Where did the clock start? Where will the sands of the hourglass land? Where are we now since this conversation began? Where do we want to be once our thoughts have been expressed? Where do the cycles, the so many cycles looped on repeat, mean for us to go? Where do we think we'll be if the cycles break? Where will we be if only on our own? Anaphora, why? Why am I this way? Why are you the way you are? Why did things go the way they did with one being having so many options? Why does one being have supposedly so many options, so many things to choose? Why are there so many choices to make? It makes my brain hurt to think of all the clues. Why am I here and not there? Why is there a here or there? Why do I find myself even daring to think on this with such a level of profound care? Why must I feel like I should know all there is to know? Why are the answers so hard to find sometimes? Why am I this way? Why am I wrapped up so possibly trapped inside the construct of my wandering mind? Greenhorn. Lost since birth, always alone. Tried to do things their way, but was still treated like an outcast. This is what you want of me, then this is what you'll receive. Don't be shocked when your skies turn gray. I will clip your wings as mine were clipped from me. Once again, I tried to give of myself in truth, and all that happened was taken from me. Yet due once again to an oversight, how dare you show me such little respect, as if I was not part of your world. You will fear my powers as my wrath befalls you, and yes, even those close to you. Hidden in your past, O King, the stories I could tell. Yet how you use my weaknesses against me, I at least in no way you can say have done the same to you, and how you became to take your unearned place. Hidden away again, you thought you could never be smarter than I. My loyal ones searching the skies for all your secrets. They are my wings, they are my all-seeing eyes. If my plan comes to pass, not only will you lose what you hold most dear, those who also love and follow you will know what it means to feel true fear. Cast aside no more, must I be. Told of how I'm not one of you as you smile at me through cursed lying teeth. My magic you have always feared, and that was the truth. Thus they will all pay in the end for taking from me the life in which I wanted to partake. Glass slipper. Just as the cool crystal upon my feet slipped away, the clock chimed again and again. The magic was fading, as were the hopes for another joyous moment. I heard him, the man I now loved after just a single dance, calling upon me to wait, to come back to not leave him alone. If only he knew how much I didn't want to. If he only knew the existence I was about to return to, and how much joy our single moment tonight meant to me. I was meant to have a life much different than this. Lost ever since I was a child, like those the princesses locked away in the highest room in the tallest tower. We shared much in common, those princesses and I. Taken away were loving parents, only to be left with cruelty and bitter torment to fill my days during the hours of the sun, giving into sorrow of falling tears during the hours of twilight. Still, I made the most of my life, being treated as nothing but a servant to the family I never chose or would have ever chosen. Time would pass as my dreams would nearly come true, if only for a moment in time. He of royal standing was being forced to seek a bride, while I who was forced to serve was seeking freedom. We found each other that night. Little did I know he would never let me go, but neither would they. Evil in the eyes of a stepmother, never to be called a mother by my lips, once again sought to tear me down. Locked back in my tower, she and my stepsisters seek to lay claim of greatness through every means of fraud. Gaining a slipper while losing a heel and some toes. Gruesome means were their legacy. Yet somehow I escaped, but they still had a trick up their sleeves. Break the glass, watch it shatter upon the cold floor. My torment was to be their pleasure, after losing what was never theirs to claim. Yet my magic was sharper. The second slipper was kept by me that night, hidden away. Placed once more upon my foot, perfect and fit and poised. My happily ever after was overdue. No more pain, only life's joys. It was there. In the blink of an eye, there was a flash of darkness that came to my mind. Why was that there and now it's gone? It wasn't good among my thoughts, so I ran as if I knew it didn't belong. I wasn't able to grasp it or even to begin to comprehend its magnitude, on how it would affect me, changing my very mood. My outlook took a back seat to a thought that came and went, daring to be understood. I tried to move on, having really nothing left to think on. It wasn't an organized idea, it wasn't planned or a passing dream. It was just here and now it's gone. Yet why do I feel different in my unease? Come back, flashing moment. Let me see you clearly in the light of my mind. If you do this to me, I know I'll never again be what anyone could call fine. Not a bad girl. She's not a bad girl. She simply has bad thoughts. That's what they like to say. Watching her from the tiny windows, first at her home, then at school or the supermarket, then from church or the car to her room, she's always staring. No matter her actions, no matter where she is in her little world, she's always on the lookout for the next time she can strike and leave those around her puzzled. Leave them wondering, is what happened really an act of malevolence, or was she just at the wrong place or the wrong time? At this point, she doesn't even know anymore. Is she evil in some way beyond her current control? Or is she simply one who is being made to suffer due to the world's worst curse of bad luck? Her feelings are now so mixed up. When she stares, she is saddened by what she sees those around her going through because of her. Or is she thrilled? In truth, wanting an evil grin to spread across her face. Yet she knows she must keep up the act of a pained little girl. As she stands, she's a living conundrum. Is she or is she not really a bad girl? Only time and her 1,000-yard stare will tell. Opera House. No matter when it's seen, in the light of day or the shade of darkness, it is a structure to behold. Haunting is this massive building lost to the passage of time. Take a look inside and can still watch as the passing comes alive. Echoes of grand shows and golden age of the stage. Listen to the nearly silent whispers and you can almost hear every lady and gentleman still waiting for the show to start while in their seats. The old tattered curtains once again rise in lights and glory. Singers both male and female sing their lines perfectly in many languages, telling fantastic stories. You can feel the presence of awe and grandeur. You can roar along with the thunderous applause of thankful rapture. Blink once, twice, 3 times, and you're there. The old opera house has so many secrets of its past that it still wants to share. Of the snow. Lost among the thoughts frozen within my mind, born of a time when a kingdom was happy and prosperous. Now my mother is gone, but my father is kind. In remarriage, he found new love, and so did I. At least he loved me once. One so lost herself, tormented was her life before she came in peace and love. A mirror trapped a spirit which would play out again in the future of my own life unknown. Over time, my father was lost. Both I and she grew to become the same way. I lie here in the frozen flakes that mirror my own face. Hair as black as an ebony night above, skin as pale as a mostly lovely apparition, lips as red as the most crimson rose. Still lost among the land as I was cast out by a mother, a stepmother who loved me once, but has been poisoned against not only me but herself. I find my way to safety of sorts. Little small creatures, beings that first sought to eat or dismiss me for trespassing in their home. Yet they took pity on me as I win them over as we live in secret, hidden away, hand in hand. In time once more I'm found, not by her, but by her truth in form. Offerings of ripe fruit cling to my throat as I fall to the wooden dirt floor. Dressed as an old hag, she thinks now she's won, returning to her room as the mirror tells her she has done nothing wrong. Once a good woman, lost to her madness, clings to the thought that now she may be fair and loved. She learns of my rebirth and impending life to come. Once again she arrives in her beauty worn as a mask, not knowing that all knows the truth of her lies. She dances upon every burning bridge, away until she breathes a breath known by all as her last. Bell Tower. Seemed to be cursed at birth for nothing more than being born. Never knew the one who raised me nearly took my life before I would have even had the chance to live. Condemned for nothing more than an outward appearance, never took time to help my developing mind and heart. Luckily, despite his words that he claimed were not cruel, yet I knew they were. I lived my solitude and still managed to love all who didn't love me. My companions were the gargoyles, the bells, and the flickering lights of the cathedral, as I listened to the prayers in the night, praying the same things as most others did. I too, like the downed souls, prayed for rescue, to be seen as more than just my deformities, to be known not as the creature who haunts the tower, but to be known as the being who wanted to be loved just as the ringing bells were each day. Would my time come? I never knew if it would as I watched the passing of each new day. I was above as they were below, but we were all the same. In a time of need, I finally was able to be put to good use. I was able to be seen as more than what the God we served placed upon me on the outside. Love in a way still eluded me in my struggle, but friendship and truth I did manage to find. I played my part in helping those I cared for and who cared for me, in living on despite the devil trying to claim our lives. I was able to walk out into the sunshine for me. My truth that I was more than just my outer self had been realized. Denied birthright. Born then trapped first, freed by he who came last in line. One of three brothers of divine origin, all should have by rights been mine to rule. To be divided fairly, we each took a lot. Mine being taken as the short end, I was last to choose that what was already chosen for me by my younger sibling. Dominion over the heavens is what he granted himself. Dominion over the sea is what was bestowed to the second brother in line. Dominion over the lower pit in existence. Hadn't I already been there and done that? Like that of a living death, deep within the bowels of our Father, he would have kept us within him for all time. Now again locked away from the light as if I had no right to see its brilliance. Never to be worshipped nor spoken of without panic or fear, keeper of all that dies upon and below. I, like he above, sat upon a throne, yet my subjects moan in agony instead of singing in praise. Deep and dark, I wait for time to catch up with us all. There will be a place at my side for a brother who stole from me my right by birth. This even he in time won't be able to look into the face of fate and destiny. Park fire. Alone in my cold tomb, I sing my praise as well as my tortures. Hard to appear as a man of God each day with the heart of a demon beating deep within. I speak and then my fellow cloaked demons line up for me. The chorus of damnation, the choir of the below always hears my call. To lust is a powerful thing. To lust for power, for control, for the ability to know one's fears and speak them into existence. Who lives and who dies was within my control. To use and abuse openly, There is no reason to hide. My power is beyond their control. My power resides within more than mere mortals' mental capacity can comprehend. Always getting what won't ever be disgraced. I won't let my desire get the best of me. Downfall will never be my own. Leading to the fires of below is not my fate. Only those who don't bend to my will last the never-ending flames is the theme of my life. The flames dance for me as we are all partners in these endeavors. If we're to fall, I would take them with me. Hell's fire is not only my call alone. Handcuffs of Haline. Claim they can't see past what has them apparently bound. Haline handcuffs allow me to see what binds them just fine. Hands held in place only because they chose to be, not because they actually are. Words used to promote cries for help and to be set free, only to be misinterpreted due to clearly watering down attempts at change. You don't have the keys to get free, you say. Yet all can see that if you'd only try, that your hands would slide right through the cuffs of Haline that supposedly keep you bound. It's clear as day that all that binds you in this world are your glassy tears that hold the fake water you claim falls from your eyes, leading to your semi-watery behaved grave. How snake-like. You are late, come looking to become more powerful than any man or any being that's ever lived. Sent into the cave, another down the hole, lost to the sand of time once again. I will not go in there, for I know I'm unworthy. There is no light within my soul. All that resides deep in my darkest dwelling mind is the need for power beyond others' control. I want them all under my spell, to kneel before my feet. Fine qualities and servants are those who dare not act, whose tongues are controlled not to speak against me. To be a sultan, no more. To be a sorcerer, no more. To be the one who commands the very universe. Yes, that is more my taste. I simply have to find the one who can go in and retrieve that which I need to make my goal complete. Foolish boy, seeking rewards to go to what I needed. Just about to grant his wish when the sand of time took back from me that which was not in my favor. Still, for a time, I did get what I wanted most, a taste of powers unsurpassed, but I was tricked in the end. My revenge was at hand. Revenge for what was never known. Evil just to be evil was the one note I was given to play. I took the power to make me powerful from the one that tried to use it against me. My zeal was more than even I knew it could bear. Thus, as I sit in a cave, I wonder if my time will come back around again. There are always second and third chances to be found, even for one such as me under any passing Arabian night setting sun. Ink Soul. Born of a different mode, yet loved by those who raised me. Lived a life among those not like me, yet I bore them no ill will. The day came where I was to take my place among those I've always called family and friends. Life snatched away my birthright as well as my happiness, as a once beloved brother denied, lied, and took what wasn't his to take. Banished, I had to learn a new life, a new way from all that was once how I saw the world. Power undeserved grew, so too did darkness and rage. Time went by and I was changed. Ink of a tainted mind flowed through my veins as I re-emerged upon the doorstep that was also once belonged to me. Once more I was outcast. More lies against me led to greater amounts of strife and fear. My brother knew that one day he would be found out for his crimes. Driven even further away, I vowed to take what he loved most, family, once the world, now nothing more than a tool for my revenge. She came, a niece, unknown of our connection, yet I used her anyway. Time learning the dark arts was how I spent my time those days. She wanted some human upon the sands above. I worked on opening and I got one. I used my brother where he belonged as a living slug barely meant to grace my cave walls. My time had come and I had taken back what was mine. The seas I would command, the storms and the tide. Wrongly once more it was all taken away along this time with my life as well. Yet another slap to my pride caused another falling spell. My light extinguished from the world I was supposed to rule. If time hadn't done me wrong, I wouldn't have had hate to hold within, nor the thought to be cruel. Back to the sea, I rest free from the world. In time, all will be made known. On this, I give my echoed word. Taking tea. Placed upon the little petite table, an ivory cup laced with silver, onyx, and black decorations has been set. The kettle is yelling as the water has come to a boil. The tea is ready. Gently poured into the cup, the hot liquid need not be sloshed. Take a seat at the table. One can smell the sweet yet odd aroma of what's been poured before them. The tea is sweetened by a hint of vanilla that's been added along with a dash of slight honey. Still floating within are leaves of a different hue. The bloody stems of a distant plant, mainly unknown, must be removed. Once the leaves have been taken away, the crimson liquid behind can now be enjoyed. The cup moves towards waiting lips. A sip is gently taken as their owner sighs quietly to themselves. Ah, nothing like a good cup of bloody leaf tea with just a hint of vanilla on an unknown afternoon. Today's view. What will your view be today? You have no clue as you lay awake in the early morning. You know what it could be due to routine and past commonalities. Yet with each day being its own window into something new, something more, there is room for change. No one said the difference would be drastic. The sun reflects off the panes a little different each morning, yet with a new splash here and a new dash of something there. Your view, as you stare past your windows, common view out into the day's possibilities, is always subject to change. So what will your view be today? Will you be more blue than green? Will your pinks overpower your reds? Will your oranges glow brighter than even the warmest yellow in existence? Take a good look with eyes and a heart wide, willing to accept all things new. Look past what you're used to and tell me, what will be your perspective today? Why here? Once there was a pair making plans for their lives together after being put through so much. They were happy. The future, like always, looked bright, as futures tend to do. Then only in tragedy was the future born. One was left without the other. They can no longer feel you. Heading to a place of modern-day ruins, a foundation that was set in place but now will never be seen as a place of joy. Only grief will fill such a place as a mind's fantasies are brought to life, given substance along with known forms. This place was chosen, marked only by a pained heart on a run-down map. Life was supposed to be good here. Life can and will be good here. This is the way it shall be, and that is all that will be said about that. Over 2,000 years old. Standing majestic and tall, How can anything so massive now ever once be considered small? Place your hands upon its surface and you'll feel its essence. Time will stand still as you are locked within its presence. Feel one of the oldest stories of life flow into your mind. You will see the flashes of seasons passing running through your mind. You will be able to know just how precious life is and how finite things truly are. Heavy will your heart possibly be as you remove your tired arm. Stand in reverence and say a quiet thank you mixed with a prayer. Never thought there could be so much history for one thing to share. A gathering. Reluctantly they gathered, supposed old friends of the back in the day variety. Some were closer than others, which could still be plainly seen today. A group of about 10 made it to the desired location. Life stories for some turned out way differently than past designs. Yet one was missing, one that made quiet tears and silent nods roam on by. He was the best of them all, yet he was treated as a lesser being. The butt of every joke, the one who had experiences at cost of humanity by his so-called friends. Gathered there, all in attendance knew they were in the wrong, some way more than others. Their mistreatment, their misdeeds had led to the sadness in the air. As they all now stand locked in this room of mourning, they haven't fully realized the weight of what they will soon endure. They see his face everywhere around them now. It will be the last thing they ever see. Of that, his wish, he made very sure. All I can say, I don't know what you want. The last time I checked, I wasn't a mind reader. You dare to return to me after all the time that's passed between us as if nothing ever happened. I never knew anything was wrong until you up and disappeared. I heard through others that we knew in common what your end goal with me really was. You dare to use that sweet tone and nonchalant attitude and phony persona with me. I know why you're really here and why you claim to want me back in your life. I'm not your Miss Fix-It, and I refuse to be manipulated by you ever again. You made your choices, and now you have to live with your mistakes and their consequences. Don't come crying to me in any way, shape, or form, seeking any sympathy, or even thinking we can share anything like what we thought we had. You stabbed me in the back, then ran off laughing. You deserve everything you get and more. Don't ever contact me again. We are enemies, strangers, nothing remotely resembling friends. Take your sorry self and crawl back to wherever you were. I'm fine now knowing you've gotten all you deserve. All. It's said that we all have a now, yet all we are is the past, made up of a collection of events that have happened to us. As our future is forever unknown, we will find ourselves there. If all we have is now, then what makes us who we are within any given moment right now? Are we merely a collection, not of years of learning, but only the past 60 seconds or so? How can we fully embrace now, seeing as with the passage of time, now never stays long enough before becoming a memory? All we are is now. Then what has become of who we were, as well as what will become, or who we will be? Discount sympathy. New deal, 2 caring moments for the price of 1. Come get your supposed empathetic hugs and kisses while they're in stock. Flock by the truckloads and wait in a line wrapped around the block. There is always that one person willing to care for the right price. Look to them to be there for you only when their sob story can just be bad, if not worse. Watch them closely as you pour your heart and soul while they barely listen, then get mad when you return the favor. throwing back in your face to suppose all the times I've been there for you. Reused line that only they can give in response. Sad is the state of affairs when one finds even sympathy has a pretty steep price. Best remember to collect well all the coupons you can find and save them dearly, for there will always come a time when they will come in handy. Frozen in time. Days are passing, yet one feels as if they are not moving anywhere. As if frozen in time, they could be standing in one place and the world will keep turning as they cry to the heavens, why, and are we still not being heard? Days become weeks, months, and years as you stare the mirror in the face and nothing about you has changed. You're still the same as if unaffected by time in any way. Life becomes nothing more than the going through the motions, or are your motions only going through you? Feeling as if you are being defined by a daily routine and not by your own personal truth. Frozen in time, or is the time frozen within you? Crave for change, yet even with changes flying all around, each day you are still the same old you. Modified. Moments made in hope of change. Old ways let go. Dreams determined to come true. Intentions made known for all whom may involved. Fears acknowledged and dealt with as to make sure they don't get in the way. Invitations sent to all the qualities that are lacking. They will be worked on and made a priority. Environments may change with a tweak here and a nudge there. Days will come to pass where a better version of you will be realized and made into reality. Mirror Queen. Looking into the oval upon the wall, I see nothing but blackness surrounding my reflection. Always told I was evil deep down ever since I unknowingly caused death to come for my mother just as she granted me life. Looking into my own eyes, I hear his voice. Not the voice of an unknowing spirit telling me of my daily living fate, but rather he, the voice of a father still echoing his hate towards me from beyond in some unknown place. I tried not to listen. I was destined to be good, or so I fought to be. My husband loved me, took me in, and I ruled by his side, taking on a young daughter who grew to love me as much as I loved her. Soon the poison of life took hold. Gone for months at a time, the news came. The one I loved was gone, and all looked to me to be queen over them. Still in the light, I did all that I could until never-ending night fell upon us all. Slowly, he came back. I thought I was going mad, but no, it was he who had always ended my dreams. He who knew how to take my joy, any joy, as he felt I had stolen his away. I was poisoned, becoming that which he said I would. More and more alone, I took refuge away from love and happiness, only to seek power and peace. In time, she became a symbol of what I had always wanted to be. The mirror of a life I wished to have, but was destined to forever be barred from. In my rage, pain, sorrow, and lack of pity, I marked her for death. My sweet one that, like the snow, could soon melt beneath the heart of my misguided fury. I was overcome by the need to end my own suffering, by causing the suffering of another who once loved me. I was wrong and misplaced. I should have stopped myself, or rather him, who was locked away. Yet by letting him win, I became the mirror queen, the shade of what my father always claimed I'd be. My sweet dreams. Locked away in eternal slumber, not of my own doing. In fact, life has been a series of events not caused by my person, rather by the hateful nature of one unable to understand why she wasn't invited where she was unwelcome. Wishes upon my birth faded away into nothing except for grace and beauty along with joy all of my days. Saved from eternal night only by sleep that would last centuries amount of time. By then, all I knew and loved would be no longer. Dared to be awakened by one made of a mold of handsome noble fair, each one to suffer a fate that worse than death that could be bestowed. The story goes, one who loved me lost nothing upon his first kiss, as I woke only to take his hand. He was happy, but I was not, leading to he who woke me finding my flaws. My love for another led to his demise and my return to the realm of dreams for which I could not return. Further made to pay for my sins when I did finally wake after 100 years. I was with child in my previous years, no longer a young and beautiful princess, queen, now a lone old woman that life dared to laugh at when I tried to laugh back. She who cursed me did a good job in that not only would my waking moments be without grace or joy, but so would my dreams, as I lie there thinking on a life that I could have had that would never be mine. To whom it concerns. Who is the one to be there as the dawn breaks? Who is the one that kickstarts the day? Whose voice is the first to be heard? Who is the last voice as the door closes to get a final word? Who sits in the majority of time thinking on others before themselves? Who is the one carrying worries of the others around? Who needs to set aside their mind in order to daydream each day for a time? Who sees without seeing, knows and cares to their own detriment? Who desires on my the best for others while they seek to only be content? Is it you who fulfills this role within the confines of what's known as life? Is it you whose main purpose is to fill beyond others' plate? Who are you? With a glare. Eyes cold, never warm to begin with, not even to my own. Married for convenience, never love. I looked only to take what I lacked at the time. Once again, lady of the house, always to be lady of the house. My girls have no talents, but I will mold them into something even if it kills me. Look at her, this golden fair-haired child not of my personal places. Why must she have all that my own lack? She will know pain, this will be my pleasure. Reduced over time, not much mine, you to nothing more than a servant girl. Seek to be called my own, to be called daughter, will never fall from my lips. To give her what she has never known from me, love. How can one love a pebble in their shoe? Plus, this feeling is a fantasy. Even my own two spawns of disappointment and convenience knows there is no truth in my smile that I give them. They are an investment, nothing more. With merely a word, break her down more and more. I have taught my daughters to do the same. My lovely, ugly children tear her to ribbons on the outside, while I'm the knife that stabs repeatedly within. With nothing more than a look, I bring forth the rage I carry for all who stand in my way. All are simply a means to an end. Love has never and will never rest here. There is only joy and torture, pleasure and sorrow and pain. She will pay my fair-haired golden one. Why? Just because I wish to be this way. Come before me as I stroke my feline, and you will do all that I command. Not evil, only in control. This is the lady that I am. A monkey's uncle. Always in the background waiting to strike. Hope that the kill would take place on a hunt, but I guess I need to be the hunter. Another born to stand in my way, yet those fools thought family bonds would be enough to keep me in check. Each a move like that of a game of chess, They were never going to be prepared for the moves I had in store for them. The king has lived long enough as a symbol of light upon my shadow. Life's circle was rotating too slowly, time to speed things up. I looked in his eyes as he fell. Such pleasure was there to warm my cold heart. Next, the fuzzball had to go. Much like that of a Shakespearean play, all my rivals will be gone. To the victor goes the spoils as I trample over their crushed souls, much like a stampede over my brother's bones. All went to my design. Even my flunkies never knew what part they had to play until I told them. They knew not that the only rewards there would be mine and mine alone. Those left behind, loyal to the old ways, would fall in line or perish within my claws. They would sing my praises even while being locked away, either or in truth or in theory. Never did I know that those pesky family ties would come back to haunt me. I even left my own dark family behind to rot in lands outside of the light, and they still wait for me in evil bliss. This light that came back to replace me, to displace me after all my hard work, robbed me of what always should have been mine. I knew I'd go down fighting for all that I deserved. Just never thought my last breath would be listening to laughter uttered after my last deceitful words would fall upon my lips. Down to business. Time to take charge and show those around me what I'm made of. Big shoe to fill, and I must be a man, now making men out of those under me. Yet I must also be my own man and do what I think is right when it comes to leading those under my charge. A nation looks to me to be a symbol of what we can all do when we are disciplined and capable. This task I take on will not be easy at all. Not like me, yet they can be molded to be great. Am I a great enough example of what greatness can become if only one tries? I turn them as they, in turn, reshape me. We must all work as one to defeat our common enemy. The roads we travel will be long. The mountains we climb, fight, and perish on will be a testament of the obstacles we had to overcome in order to gain our honor among those we serve. I must lead now. I must be a force to reckon with. I must be a man who leads by example and bring the men out of them as well as you. Heavy crown. Mind of a child spoiled, seeking what he feels is his, set his sights to sit upon a throne built to hold a king. A brother of war, while a younger sibling seeks other things. Assume power that is his by not right, wanting to gain respect through fear. He sees the land of love and light. Those around do his bidding while thinking much the same as those who he abuses. This guy is nothing more than a man-child playing dress-up, barely regal in appearance, relying on a cloak, rings, and a crown. Yet when he doesn't get his way, to the floor he falls down to roll around. Big as a baby, he sucks his thumb crying for his mom. Even somehow, one such as he feels empowered to be the biggest of bullies. Born not in the spot designed for him to lead. A land awaits with bated breath, hoping for the time of their returned king and a reprieve. Heavy eyes. There have just been so many, and yes, I'm here once again, staring off into space, trying to shut down my mind, but nothing seems to ever work when it comes to this. One too many sleepless nights under starless skies as I look out the window for hope of counting the stars. Yet they aren't there. The twinkling lights that normally soothe my tired mind like heavenly crystals, I usually end up dreaming. I'm flying through, are nowhere to be found. Tired eyes eventually have no choice as they close out of exhaustion. Sounds of the waking world begin to fade as the realm of darkness night swallows me up once more. This time there are no stars to lead me back. Thus I question if I'll even find dawn ushering in the rising star in the brightest of tomorrow's morning. Thank you for listening. I hope my words as we go along both inspire and make you smile. For more of my content, you can also find me on Patreon, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. The links will be down below. Stay blessed and let's grow together. Much love to you all.